everything changes.
Hey, good evening everybody, and welcome into the Rockstarflipper YouTube channel. Today's Friday, September 20th, 2019, and I have an Amazon video for you guys that I want to get into in just a minute. Before I do, I have kind of a statement that I want to put out there before I get into the Amazon story, and this is going to be the final time that I'm going to make a video about this or mention this, unless there's some kind of major change or news update or facts come out that warrant another video. This is it. This will be it. So those of you that do know what's going on with the promoted listing debacle, and the people that may not know, feel free to watch my other videos. Essentially, I'm being attacked for attacking another YouTuber, which is incorrect. I simply came out on YouTube and said that it's not responsible to make a video letting people know that all or a large portion of promoted listings would be hidden due to ad blocker. That's simply false. In fact, eBay, a corporate executive at eBay, has gone on a YouTube video and said that promoted listings, according to their internal records, are only blocked 2% of the time, which is actually better than what I estimated. I had said 50% or more was way overboard. I think I threw numbers out like I was guessing 15 or 20%, but I knew it wasn't 50%. eBay has said 2%. Do I believe them? Maybe, maybe not. They have the records. They don't have a reason to lie about that. Maybe they do. But either way, even if it falls somewhere in that middle, 5 to 10%. I never said that promoted listings were not being blocked. I actually said the opposite, that they were being blocked, but on a much smaller level than what other people would have you believe. That, in turn, caused panic within this community. It spread like wildfire across social media and caused many of you sellers to change your entire business model, promoted listings, based on information that was not factual. Based on records from eBay, it's not factual. Based from research of my own across the internet and other people, and based on many people that have many higher degrees than other people have, it has been found to not be factual. That's just pure black and white facts, directly from the horse's mouth. It is not a big deal. The amount of people using ad blocker, especially on desktop, where only 20% of transactions happens, is not that large. Now, I don't like it. I don't want any of my listings to be blocked, promoted or otherwise. Of course I don't like it. However, eBay is not responsible for that. This is third-party ad blockers, and there's really nothing eBay can do. They can rework their coding and their software in order to get around it, but just like an Apple virus on your phone, hackers will find a new way to get into it, a new way to block ads. There's always going to be ad blockers. They're not going away. There's nothing we can do to stop that. So, you have two options. You can continue doing business the way you're doing it and running promoted listings, at which point maybe, possibly, a small percentage of your desktop viewed promoted listings will be blocked. Remember, eBay is going to display some of your listings either as promoted or as organic. A lot of people took this as eBay was not going to display organic at all and only display promoted. That's not true either. eBay is going to display both. In fact, if you go and search eBay for any given item right now, what do you find? You find organic and you find promoted. You find both. Why? Because they're displaying both. And I guarantee you, if you click on some of the promoted listings, you'll find some of those sellers have organic and vice versa. Again, facts. You can look it up and prove it. They're both being displayed, and only a very small amount of the promoteds are being blocked by ad blocker. Not enough to go change your entire business and abandon it. I'll leave you with another fact. Why now? Ad blockers didn't suddenly appear in the last 2 days, did they? Of course not. Ad blockers have been in existence for years, many years. So why all of a sudden, when you hear somebody on the internet tell you that ad blockers is ruining your business because it's blocking your promoted listings, do you all of a sudden go and turn it off? If that was the case, it would have been blocking your ads and your promoted listings forever. Well, it's because you just found out. Well, your business was doing just fine and you weren't complaining about sales, at least some of you, for as long as you can imagine. In fact, some of you that went off the rails at me yesterday had just recently, as recent as this month, turned on promoted listings and said how much of a sales increase you were having. Now all of a sudden, because somebody comes on and tells you that your items are being blocked, it's the end of the world and you want to attack me? It's not fair. Absolutely not fair and not true. Go back and look at what works for your business. If promoted listings are helping your sales, absolutely use them. Bring up the graph, look at the report of your promoteds and see how many you are selling because of promoted listings and how much you're paying. If it doesn't work for your business, by all means, turn it off. Do what's best for your business. The last thing I want to say about it is, and this is an important thing, please listen to this carefully. Regardless of the ad blocker, put the ad blocker off to the side. A lot of you were just simply upset over the entire promoted versus organic search, which you guys saw in Ryan and Allie's video from Ryan Roots, which I had on my channel last night. And I want to thank Ryan for coming on the channel last night as well. He and I are on the same page about the situation 95%. Our answers and solution are a little bit different, but we get it. Here's the problem. When Ryan called the representative from eBay, remember, when you're calling a representative, you get 50 different answers half the time anyway. So relying on what a representative says is probably not the best idea. It's best to go through eBay corporate. But that representative told Ryan, and it was clear as day, only your promoted listings would be displayed, not your organic. And that's false. eBay corporate said themselves they're going to display one or the other. Now, does that mean that they're actually going to do it? Well, that's up to them. Do we think they might lean heavily towards the promoted to collect more fees? Well, that's the rumor. A lot of people think that. And of course, there's no reason not to think that. With that being said, the representative recanted what she said, if you fast forward a few seconds into the video, and actually did say that. She said, oh, excuse me, I misspoke. It's actually going to display one or the other. Now, here's the thing. If a platform like eBay is so heavily pushing promoted listings, promoted, and if you look back at eBay's earnings call and their quarterly revenues report, they reported a heavy increase in promoted listing revenue. They're relying heavily on promoted listing income to help raise the stock level. And it makes sense. It's a way for eBay to make business. They are a company. They are out to make money. Now, we may not like it, but it is their website and they can do what they want. With that said, if eBay is heavily pushing this promoted policy and you decide to suddenly turn off all of your promoteds and go strictly against what eBay is saying, what do you think is going to happen to all of your listings, regardless of ad blocker? Forget about the ad blocker. Let's say ad blocker was removed tomorrow and gone. If you turn off all your promoted listings, what do you think eBay's search algorithm might do to all of your active listings right now? I'll give you a good idea. It's not going to like it. eBay's pushing a feature and you're going against that feature. So you can choose to spend a few dollars to promote all of your listings, or you can choose to turn them all off, save yourself 20 or 30 bucks, and lose hundreds of dollars in sales. That's my opinion. Am I right? I sure hope so. Could I be wrong? I highly doubt it in this one. Look, I've sold on Amazon for 5 years, and Amazon works exactly the same way. If you start a new private label product and send it to Amazon, and you don't advertise and you don't pay, guess how many sales you're gonna get? The minute you turn on PPC, if you have a good product, guess what happens? Items go up. Amazon's routinely called the pay-to-play platform, and that's because that's how it works, period. So folks, please put your emotions aside, look at the facts that I just laid out for you, and ask yourself, am I actually here to try to crush you or not help you as a seller or attack somebody just to attack them? Or am I actually trying to give you logical, common sense advice that makes sense based on the facts that we know? Don't get me wrong, we don't know the facts, we can't see the numbers, we don't know if the percentages are right, the number blocked is right, the number shown is right, none of us know. We'll never know. eBay will never release those numbers to you outside of the corporate headquarters. It's not gonna happen. But with what we know and the information we have, it is absolutely, in my opinion, in your best interest to continue running promoted listings at any percentage you want. Honestly, I've already told you guys I run mine at 1% and 2% for the most part. And go with what eBay and their platform is wanting. Feed the beast, remember? Well, part of feeding the beast at this point is now promoted listings. Without them, I imagine your listings and your sales will fall off drastically. Appreciate you guys listening to that. Let's move on to the Amazon story. Now I can get out of my serious face. Cheers to everybody in the weekend. The Amazon story is going to be the following. Amazon has been accused of pushing items to the top of search based on the amount of fees and profit that they make off of those items. What does that mean? So let's say that we all have, we're all listing a GoPro camera, a GoPro Hero 7 Black, which just happens to be the one that I have here. Let me close this thing up real quick. So we're all listing cameras, right? And we're all gonna list this at a similar price point, but a little bit different. Maybe somebody lists it for $250, somebody lists it for $260, $270, $280, $290, and Amazon has a whole list. There's like 300 of these cameras for sale, used, whatever. And yes, against myth, you can absolutely sell these used. And so Amazon, regardless of the keywords and the feedback, has been accused of pushing in the, not obviously if you search by lowest price first, not, but by the best match search, the one that is going to net them more fees closer to the top, which typically turns out to be the most expensive one, right? Exactly. Also, people that pay for advertising would obviously pay more fees. So people that are spending more money with Amazon will be pushed to the top. And I think it's an interesting thing to talk about because they're not supposed to base it just on the amount of money that they make. And that's part of the antitrust lawsuit that could come up if and when the government decides to actually formally go forward with this. So I want to take you over to the story. Some of you aren't going to understand it, but I want to take you to my computer, check out the story, and show you a little bit more about how Amazon may have manipulated the search rankings, since we're on the topic of search rankings anyways. Let's check it out. Okay, so here we are on Bloomberg's website. I really love Bloomberg. They have really well-written articles typically. This is by Matt Day. Now, he wrote this on September 16th, which was on Monday. I didn't get around to recording it because of all the craziness this week. But here's the story that Mr. Day wrote. Amazon shares fell following a report that the e-commerce giant adjusted its product search results to emphasize items that are more profitable to the company. So that's not only search results where they'll get more fees, but I think and I believe that also includes items that they're selling themselves. The Wall Street Journal reported Monday that following an internal debate, Amazon late last year changed its secret algorithm to ranks search results to lift more profitable items, a departure for a company that typically emphasized customer satisfaction and best sellers. Digital giants including Amazon, Apple, Google, Facebook are under scrutiny for how they govern their sprawling online platforms. Critics of the companies have accused each of favoring their own products over those of rivals, potentially stifling competition, which is accurate, and which is why Amazon is potentially facing an antitrust lawsuit. If you don't know what antitrust lawsuit is, look it up. It basically means they are competing against you, providing an unfair marketplace and not giving competition the right amount of leeway, basically producing a monopoly to a point. The change to the search algorithm could steer customers towards Amazon private label products to deliver higher profit margins than competing listings. Amazon shares fell 1.9% to $1,804, oh God forbid, $1,804 at 11:38 a.m. The company didn't immediately respond to requests for comments. A spokeswoman told the Journal that Amazon has long considered long-term profitability, but that it didn't make decisions based solely on that metric. Let's be honest, anyone that runs a business makes many or most of their decisions based on profitability. Yes, we do go out of our way for customers and customer service, but at the same time, we have to do what makes the company money, period. Bloomberg reported last week that a team of FTC, that's Federal Trade Commission investigators, had begun interviewing small businesses that sell products on Amazon to determine whether the e-commerce giant is using its market power to hurt competition. That would be the actual definition of antitrust. If the government determines that you're not allowing a fair marketplace, you can be fined or made to disband. It happened to Microsoft in the mid-90s. Look it up. A House panel investigating big tech companies for potential antitrust violations is seeking information from customers of Amazon, Apple, Google, and Facebook about the state of competition in digital markets and the adequacy of existing enforcement. It's hard because these companies are so big and they have so much money that if they do manipulate the search algorithm, there's really no way we can prove it, no way we know. And even if the FTC and government investigate and find and can prove that they did, paying fines is a speeding ticket for these companies. So there's something that has to be done beyond that. And hopefully we'll see, what the outcome of this is. But I want to thank Matt Day from Bloomberg. Matt, appreciate that quick article right to the point. And I'll link it down below if you want to check it out. Appreciate that. And thanks, guys, so much for, supporting the channel and understanding and really, gathering facts and not jumping to conclusions whenever you do watch these videos. Whenever I come out with this stuff, I really do the research. I don't just sit around and guess at things. And I don't just sit around and listen to everything and look at everything that I see on the internet. The old commercial, well, I saw it on the internet, it must be true. it just doesn't apply anymore. It absolutely doesn't apply in 2019. It hasn't applied for a long time. So you have to do your research. You have to look into things. You have to use some common sense, and you really have to break things down and see what makes sense. The story has to make sense, and the whole piece of the pie, there's always slices of it, and they all have to fit together to make the whole pizza and the whole story. So think about that. Don't let your emotions get the best of you, and don't do anything drastic and rash based on just something that you see on YouTube, whether it's from me or from somebody else. Always do your research and put everything together, and use common sense, like I said, and you'll be good to go. And feel free to comment, ask questions below. I'll be happy to answer them. I try to respond to as much as possible. You guys know that. And as always, I appreciate you watching. Enjoy your Friday night, TGIF. Enjoy your weekend, and hopefully you'll be joining me tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern for the live webinar on affiliate marketing and how to sell any item on eBay or Amazon without actually owning it, buying it, storing it, shipping it, or having to handle customer service. If you haven't signed up for that webinar, the link's below. Make sure you do. We'll see you tomorrow at 4 p.m. Have a good day, everyone.